Hello guys, my name is Balkrishna and welcome to Code with BK. So in this video, we understand how malloc function works in C programming. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel. So in the previous videos in this series, we saw what are pointers in C programming. Then we saw what are struct pointers. We saw array pointers. We saw what pass by value, pass by references. Okay. And now we start with malloc so that we can understand how dynamic memory allocation works. We see after this video in the following videos how to create a 1D array dynamically, how to create a 2D array dynamically of int type, of a struct type, how to create an array of pointers and stuff like that. Okay, so the first thing we know about malloc is it is used for memory allocation. Okay, so you can say take out m from this memory and alloc from allocation. It is used for memory allocation, and it is used for dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so dynamic memory allocation is the memory that is allocated through the running of the program. Static memory is what is allocated before the program starts. So if we have int a equal to 10, okay, so this is not a static variable. In C, to make it static, you do something like this. It means the value of a will remain the same between the function calls. Okay, the value of a persists. Okay, I'm not gonna go with this. Okay, I'm just gonna use int a equal to 10 because this is something that you're able to relate much better. All right, technically this is a local variable inside a function, and the memory for this is allocated on stack memory. Okay, the memory for this is not assigned before the program starts. All right, so I will cover this better when we do the static keyword. For now, we are going to stick with the fact that malloc is used for dynamic memory allocation, and we have int a equal to 10. Okay, so when you do int a equal to 10, we have something like this in the memory. Okay, all right, I'm not going to what stack memory, what heap memory is here right now. Okay, just taking int a equal to 10 in memory. Okay, so when you do this, compiler gives you 4 bytes because it is a variable of type int and integers are 4 bytes. The value stored is 10 and the name of variable is a. It is a part of the main function, all right, and it is an int type variable. When we do something like int p equal to ampersand a, okay, it means this is a pointer, int pointer in star type, which is storing the address of a. So when I do this statement, I get another variable p of type int star, okay, part of this main function, okay, that stores the address of where a is stored. So if a is stored at addr1, memory address of variable a, okay, so this will store addr1 and it means it is a pointer to a. All right, so in this case you can see this variable a has memory and there is a pointer to it. Okay, variable a having memory is the key thing here because dynamic memory allocation is allocating memory through the runtime of the program, and this happens when the amount of memory that is to be allocated depends upon a variable. Okay, now how does malloc work? So let's just look at the manual pages. I'll say man malloc. Okay, so you see we have malloc here. Okay, this is the signature. All right, returns a void pointer, takes in a size t type c. It means it takes a value which is always greater than or equal to 0. Size t basically means when you want to hold the size of something which is always greater than or equal to 0. Okay, not negative values, unsigned value. Okay, and if you go to malloc, okay, malloc, alloc, valloc, realloc, and realloc functions allocate memory that is aligned such that it can be used for any data type including, okay, so this is not related to you, it is used to allocate memory, and then malloc function allocates size bytes of memory and returns a pointer to the allocated memory. All right, so malloc, okay, allocates memory and returns a pointer to it. Okay, so let me just write a code that uses malloc. Okay, I will bring this here. Okay, I will say to use malloc I'll have to do include stdlib.h. You can check the man pages in this. Okay, then I will say int p2, another pointer, is int pointer of, I'll just explain what I'm doing in a moment, malloc size of int. Okay, all right, so malloc will allocate memory. How many bytes of memory is passed here, okay, in the malloc function call. All right, I want to create memory enough to store only one integer, so I say give me size of int. Now size of operator will return the amount of, so it returns 4 unsigned long, it means the memory of int, right? So it will return the memory of this type, which is 4. I could have also done something like this. Okay, size of 4 works the same way. All right, and this means I'm casting the return type, which is a void pointer. You see, it returns a void pointer to an int pointer, saying that whatever memory that has been allocated, I want to store an integer to it. Okay, so when you do malloc 4, you get memory, okay, of 4 bytes. Okay, and you return a pointer. Okay, so you get one chunk of 4 bytes. You don't get one each. No, one single chunk. Whenever you do malloc, all right, you get one single chunk of memory. Okay, you return a pointer to it, which you are storing in P2. Okay, so if this address where this memory is stored is ADDR2, okay, a memory address of allocated memory, okay, from this line, okay, you are saying P2 is a variable of type int star storing ADDR2, okay, and this is 4 bytes. All right, and whenever malloc allocates memory, okay, the memory allocated is uninitialized. Okay, it means there are garbage values inside. It could be any value inside. Okay, so just as we can print the value at the address that P stores, okay, which is going to be the value A. Let me just run this GCC. It is going to be 10. Okay, similarly you can dereference this P2 pointer to print whatever is stored at this location. So right now when you do malloc, you don't know what is there inside. What the program did was, it said I will give you 4 bytes of memory. Okay, you said I'm going to store the address of that memory as an int pointer. Okay, it means you want to store integers in that memory. Okay, right now you don't know what there is inside in that memory. So when you try to print this, okay, from dynamic memory allocation, you get a garbage value, could be anything. Okay, 0. Okay, so malloc allocates dynamic memory, allocates memory and returns a pointer to it. So I'll say return type is void pointer. Okay, and the memory allocated is uninitialized. Whatever the previous values there, whatever be the garbage values are still there. Okay, you have to initialize it. Okay, and you can cast the return type to any type of pointer. Okay, when we were doing pointers, I told you all values have corresponding pointers in double float. We have structs as well, right? So you can dynamically allocate memory for those types using corresponding pointers. Okay, right now creating a memory of 4 bytes, okay, and storing the pointer to that memory in P2. Okay, so if I say value at P2 equal to 100, now the value at P2 will be 100. Okay, some garbage value, then 100. Okay, and you should not do this, you should always do this. Okay, very readable. Also, you don't have to think how many bytes does int store, you don't have to remember it. You can simply get the size of integer using the size of operator. Size of is an operator. Remember, size of is an operator. You can always think of operators in terms of something that returns a value. Okay, so comparing this and this now, okay, this is very relatable to you. Int a equal to 10 pointer to address of a equal to 12 pointer to address of a. Okay, when you do this, okay, you are saying give me a memory chunk enough. What is the size of the memory chunk I want? 4 bytes. Okay, because I want to store one integer. Okay, and it returns a pointer to it. You store that address into variable P2 of size of type int pointer. Okay, so now you can store integers in that dynamically allocated memory. Okay, so we have a pointer to a memory, pointer to a memory. This is just dynamically allocated. Okay, couple of things more with malloc is, okay, so it returns the void pointer of the memory which it allocates. So malloc returns null if memory allocation fails, because you are doing dynamic memory allocation which is allocated on heap memory. Okay, this is a local variable on stack memory. Okay, all the local variables are on stack memories. Okay, right now I'm showing both the memories as same. Okay, this is only because you can relate. Once you get more used to C programming, you will understand how things are working. Okay, so if heap memory runs out, we don't have no more heap memory, it returns a null. So a lot of times you will see things like this. For example, you will see if P2 equal to null, okay, there is a message, you do something, or you say allocation failed. Okay, that is the memory I was trying to get, the memory chunk I was trying to get from the heap memory failed. And in the else part, you actually do whatever you want to do with this dynamically allocated memory. So for now, we'll not get this allocation failed because we are able to get memory, and we want memory just for one integer. So that's very easy, right? So you're not getting this. But these constructs are pretty common in projects, okay, where they want to check if the memory allocation failed or not. Okay. One more thing with malloc is you should always free the memory that you have dynamically allocated. Okay, so these memory for these variables are released when these go out of scope. If you're not able to understand, if I do void foo, okay, and I say int k equal to 20, okay, when the function is called, k is allocated memory 4 bytes to store 20. When the function returns, the memory that k was assigned was released. It is given back to the stack. Okay, when you allocate memory dynamically, it is your responsibility that you have to free the memory. You do it like this. You say free and the pointer that is pointing to that memory. Okay, so now I compile and run. Okay, so you don't see any difference in the outputs, but there are cases, a lot of my students who do C programming projects, they are not able to free this memory correctly, and they get memory leaks for which they lose marks. Okay, so malloc, if dynamically allocated memory is not freed, we have something called memory leaks. Okay, or just say we have memory leaks. Okay, you should never have any memory leaks in your C programming. Okay, that's why you have to be very careful with pointers. Okay, moving around, you allocate memory, you use memory, and then you deallocate memory, you let it go. Okay, so this was a very simple example to relate how we have a equal to 10 and a pointer to it to a dynamically allocated pointer. We can do the same with a double. I can say, let's do it float. I'll say float f1 is 3.14. okay, and then I say float pointer fp1 is address of f1. okay, and then I use dynamic memory allocation. Okay, I say I want to store a float pointer fp2. okay, and since I want to store floats in this memory, I cast it to a float pointer. So you cast it to the pointer of the type you want to store inside. So because here I want to store an integer, here I cast it to int pointer. Because I want to store float here, I cast it to float pointer. Okay, so again I can do the same construct is fp2 equal to null allocation failed or else. Okay, but I know memory allocation will not fail because I'm hardly using any heap memory. So I'll simply do value at fp2 is say 2.67. okay, now value at the address fp2 stores, dereference the pointer, fp2 stores is %long float fp2. okay, and we have fp1 as well. So fp1 will be the value which is 3.14, fp2 will be 2.67. compile and run. okay, and we need to free fp2 as well. okay, okay, again remember this is a local variable, goes on stack memory. okay, so we have f1 variable of type float. okay, f1 has value 3.14. then we have variable fp1. okay, it is a pointer to f1. okay, whatever address this f1 has stores in fp1. another variable, okay, fp2, this is of type float pointer, this is also of type float pointer. okay, and fp2 got memory allocated dynamically, and size of float is 4 bytes again, so this is also 4 bytes. And then you said value at fp2 is 2.67, value at fp2 is 2.67, just as it did. Value at p2 is 100, value at p2 is now 100. okay, so again if you don't initialize this, you will get a garbage value here. okay, we have not initialized fp2, so the value at fp2 is could be any garbage value. okay, current shows 0, it won't always be 0. okay, because memory that is allocated by Malloc is uninitialized. Memory allocated by calloc is initialized. So if you want to check man pages, malloc, okay, so we see calloc function, the allocated memory is filled with bytes of value 0, which is not in the case of malloc. Okay, so calloc will initialize the memory with zeros, malloc will not initialize the memory. Okay, the garbage value stays there. Okay, we'll see about calloc in the later videos. Okay, all right, so not going into too much complexities about what stack memory is, what heap memory is. Okay, this is just for your knowledge that when you allocate memory dynamically, it goes on heap memory, it is allocated on heap memory. Similarly, local variables are given on stack memory. Okay, the idea is this comparison of a equal to 10 with a pointer p with p2 is just to make you understand that the idea remains the same. Okay, there is a memory location that is holding a value. Okay, and we can have a pointer to it. Again, we have a memory location holding a value, we can have a pointer to it. This memory is just allocated dynamically. That's it. Okay, and you can do with any kind of pointers. Okay, and one more trick that I use is that whatever size of type that you give here, you should add one more star here. That is, for example, if I want array of struct pointers, okay, so I can create a struct p, okay, or I'll say point. Okay, I'll say int x and int y. Okay, so if I want to create an array of struct pointers, okay, array of struct pointers, how many struct pointers? Say int n equal to 10. Okay, so for 10 struct pointers, I will need size of struct pointer into how many? Into 10. And the type of this is this same thing with one more star. Okay, and left hand side is obviously going to be the same type. So you say sp1. Okay, and this is going to be fine. Oh, let me just quit. Okay, and I need to free sp1 as well. Okay, clear and you'll see no errors. Okay, everything done fine. Okay, so this was a brief introduction about what malloc is. It basically revolves around these points. Okay, and use of malloc is when we want to create a dynamic array of dynamic 1D array, 2D array, array of pointers, sometimes 3D array as well, right? And also dynamically allocate struct pointers, struct, so that we can create linked lists, right? We look at all that in the following videos, and I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to tell you, that dynamic memory is also just a memory. We have a pointer to it, just as a variable, normal regular variable declared has a memory, and you can have a pointer to it. Okay, all right. So I hope this was helpful and you like this video. So if you have any doubt, there's a part you don't understand, please let me know in the comments. I always try to answer all your comments, and you can also let me know in the comments if there's a question you want to solve, or if there's concept you want to discuss. So please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.